Did you know, there exists a land where empires didn't just rise, they defined what civilization truly means, a land where the first great kings didn't just conquer, they ruled with vision, building one of the most powerful empires the world had ever seen. This is the story of Iran, once known as Persia, a name that echoed across continents, feared by enemies, respected by allies, and remembered by history as a symbol of power and culture. From the rise of mighty rulers, to devastating invasions that tried to erase it, from golden ages of art and science, to revolutions that changed its destiny forever. Iran's story is not simple, it is a saga of survival against time itself. So the real question is, how does a civilization survive thousands of years, while empires around it disappear into dust? Before we step into this incredible journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel Dynasty History, because here, history is not just told, it is experienced. The story of Iran begins in the depths of ancient time, long before modern borders existed and long before the world knew it by this name. It begins in a land of mountains and deserts, rivers and fertile valleys, where early human civilizations first learned how to build, organize, and dream beyond survival. In the western plateau of Asia, tribes and early societies gradually formed identities that would later shape one of the greatest civilizations in history. Among them were the Elamites, one of the earliest known civilizations in the region, who built cities, developed writing systems, and established organized rule thousands of years before the rise of classical Persia. Their legacy laid the foundation for what was to come, a land already accustomed to kingship, culture, and structured society. As centuries passed, new Indo-Iranian tribes migrated into the region. Among them were the Medes and the Persians. These groups would not remain scattered forever. Over time, they united, forming stronger political structures and military power. The Medes were the first to build a significant empire in the region, bringing order to large territories and laying the groundwork for centralized rule. But history was preparing something even greater. In the 6th century BCE, a young and ambitious ruler named Cyrus rose from the Persian tribe. Cyrus the Great would change the destiny of Iran and the ancient world forever. He united the Medes and Persians under one banner, creating the Achaemenid Empire, the first great Persian empire. Unlike many conquerors of his time, Cyrus was known not only for his military genius but also for his remarkable approach to governance. He respected local customs, religions, and traditions, allowing conquered peoples to maintain their identity. This policy of tolerance helped his empire expand rapidly across vast regions. Under Cyrus and his successors, the Persian Empire grew into one of the largest empires the world had ever seen. It stretched from the Indus Valley in the east to the borders of Greece in the west. Cities like Persepolis became symbols of power and artistic achievement, filled with grand palaces, detailed carvings, and monumental architecture that reflected the strength of the empire. After Cyrus, rulers like Darius the Great expanded and organized the empire further. Darius implemented administrative systems that connected distant provinces through roads, communication networks, and standardized laws. The Royal Road, one of the most advanced transportation systems of its time, allowed messages and goods to travel across thousands of kilometers in record time. The empire was not just powerful in war, but also highly organized in governance. However, power always attracts opposition. The Persian Empire eventually came into conflict with the Greek city-states, leading to the famous Greco-Persian Wars. Battles like Marathon, Thermopylae, and Salamis became legendary in world history. Although Persia did not achieve total victory over Greece, it remained a dominant global power for centuries. But no empire lasts forever. In the 4th century BCE, a new force emerged from the west. Alexander of Macedonia launched a campaign that would bring the Achaemenid Empire to its end. Through a series of decisive battles, Alexander defeated the Persian forces and entered the heart of the empire. Persepolis, the symbolic capital, was eventually destroyed, marking the fall of one of history's greatest civilizations. Yet Persia did not disappear. After Alexander's death, his empire fragmented, and new local powers began to rise in the Iranian plateau. Among them was the Parthian Empire, which would restore Iranian independence and become a major power in its own right. The Parthians established a decentralized system of governance, relying heavily on noble families and regional rulers. Their strength lay in cavalry warfare, especially their famous mounted archers, who could strike enemies while retreating, a tactic that confused and weakened even the strongest Roman legions. For centuries, the Parthian Empire stood as a rival to Rome, creating a balance of power between East and West. But internal weaknesses eventually led to their decline, and once again, Iran entered a new phase of transformation. In the 3rd century CE, the Sasanian Empire rose from the ashes of Parthian rule. This marked one of the most culturally rich and powerful periods in Iranian history. The Sasanians revived ancient Persian traditions, strengthened centralized authority, and promoted Zoroastrianism as the state religion. Under their rule, art, architecture, science, and philosophy flourished. Cities became centers of learning and culture. scholars translated texts from Greece and India, contributing to advancements in medicine, astronomy, and mathematics. The empire became a bridge of knowledge between ancient civilizations, influencing both the Eastern and Western worlds. However, the Sasanian Empire faced constant conflict with the Byzantine Empire, draining its resources over time. These prolonged wars weakened the state internally, making it vulnerable to new forces emerging from the Arabian Peninsula in the 7th century. New religious and political movements spread rapidly across the Middle East. Islam, Arab Muslim armies entered Persia, and after a series of conflicts, the Sasanian Empire collapsed. This marked one of the most significant turning points in Iranian history. The region was now part of the expanding Islamic world, but even in transformation, Iran did not lose its identity. Instead, it adapted. The Persian language and culture gradually merged with Islamic civilization, creating a unique cultural synthesis. Persian scholars, poets, and thinkers became some of the most influential figures in the Islamic Golden Age. Cities like Baghdad, though outside modern Iran, were heavily shaped by Persian administrators and intellectuals over time. Various dynasties ruled the Iranian lands, including the Tahirids, Samanids, Ghaznavids, and Seljuks. Each contributed to the cultural and political evolution of the region. Persian literature reached new heights during this period, with poets like Ferdowsi preserving ancient Iranian legends in epic works that kept national identity alive even under foreign rule. In the 13th century, Iran faced another devastating invasion. The Mongols, led by Genghis Khan and later his successors, swept across Asia with unmatched brutality. Cities were destroyed, populations were reduced, and entire regions suffered massive devastation. Yet even this catastrophe did not erase Iran's cultural core. Over time, the Mongols themselves were absorbed into Persian culture, adopting local traditions and governance styles. Following the Mongol era, new dynasties emerged, including the Safavids in the 16th century. This period marked another major turning point in Iranian history. The Safavid Empire established Twelver Shia Islam as the official religion of the state, shaping Iran's religious identity in a way that still exists today. Under the Safavids, Iran experienced renewed centralization, artistic growth, and architectural development. Cities like Isfahan became symbols of beauty and power, often described as some of the most magnificent cities in the world. At that time, trade flourished, and Iran once again became an important link between East and West. However, internal corruption and external pressures eventually weakened the Safavid state, leading to its decline. After a period of instability, the Qajar dynasty came to power in the late 18th century. This era was marked by increasing pressure from European powers, particularly Russia and Britain, who sought influence over Iranian territory and resources. Iran lost several territories in the Caucasus region, and internal governance struggled with modernization challenges. By the early 20th century, dissatisfaction with the Qajar rulers led to the rise of Reza Shah Pahlavi, who established the Pahlavi dynasty. He initiated major modernization reforms, including infrastructure development, education expansion, and efforts to centralize state power. His son, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, continued these reforms, pushing Iran toward rapid modernization and closer ties with Western nations. However, political tensions, social inequality, and opposition to foreign influence eventually led to growing unrest within the country. These tensions culminated in the Iranian Revolution of 1979, one of the most significant political events of the 20th century. The monarchy was overthrown, and the Islamic Republic of Iran was established under the leadership of Ayatollah Khomeini. This revolution dramatically changed Iran's political structure, foreign relations, and internal governance. It marked the beginning of a new era defined by religious leadership, political restructuring, and regional influence. In the decades that followed, Iran faced wars, particularly the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, which caused immense human and economic loss. Yet once again, the country demonstrated resilience, rebuilding its institutions and continuing its development despite challenges. Today, Iran stands as a nation deeply rooted in ancient history yet shaped by modern political realities. It carries within it the legacy of empires, revolutions, cultural brilliance, and centuries of survival. From the days of Cyrus the Great to the present era, Iran's story is one of transformation without disappearance, change without loss of identity, and endurance against time itself. And now, as we reach the end of this incredible journey through time, from the ancient rise of Persia to the fall of mighty empires, from golden ages of culture and knowledge to revolutions that reshaped a nation, once again one truth becomes clear: Iran is not just a country in history, it is history itself, living, breathing, and evolving through every era. It has survived empires may fall, kings may be forgotten, but the story of Iran continues to echo across the world even today. And if you truly felt this journey, if you truly experienced the rise and fall of this ancient land, then I want to say something from my side: history is not just something we study, it is something we feel, and Iran's Story is one of the most powerful reminders of how resilience shapes a civilization, so tell me in the comments what part of this history shocked you the most, and don't forget, like this video, share it with others who love history, and most importantly subscribe to the channel Dynasty History, because we are just getting started, and there are many more untold stories waiting for you. Until next time, stay curious, and keep exploring the past that built our present.